Hey everybody, happy someday. I say someday because number one, I don't know what today is, and number two, I don't know when I'm going to post this. But we're going to start out here at this river scene. At one point in time, this was going to be the Tuscarawas River in Ohio, but I'm probably going to rename it to something else. Why are we starting here? I'm going to show you these three boats. So there's one on the left, one on the right, and the big one in the middle. I picked these up at Mike's Trains the other day in beautiful Thomasville, North Carolina. And as soon as I saw them, I knew exactly where they were going to go. And I think the big boat looks pretty good. It'll get a little bit of love, get painted. It'll look a little better when I'm done with it. But you got this dude over here fishing. I think he's had a couple of beers. He looks like he's passed out. And this healthy motherfucker, this healthy guy right here, he's had one too many beers, but he's fishing pretty good too. Oh, that was some French there, my friends. That was some French. So if you didn't know, I was in the Army 27 years, and we throw around the old F-bomb like it's just an everyday word. And I had a couple of my brothers over today from the 82nd, and we were nerding out, and it was F this, F that for hours and hours. So I apologize about that. That's the first French I've spoke on any video in the 2 years I've been doing this. So that's not too bad out of 342 videos. So my apologies. And that's why that little disclaimer is at the front right after the FBI thing. And you know, that's mainly just a joke, but that's okay. Once again, I'm sorry. That's pretty good though. Okay, so also when I was at Mike's Trains, I bought a couple of buildings. I'll get to those. And I was also, I kind of went through the junk box, and they said, hey, take whatever you want out of this junk box. So I did. So I found some locomotive parts. I found some, these are like fences and railings and stuff like that. I was like, okay, cool, I'll grab that. I found this Walther's Alco PA on an Athearn frame with what I think is a Kato motor. Now, I need that motor for an RS3 that I have that doesn't have a motor. And I was like, you know what? I'm not a big fan of B units. So this PA A unit will go on my dummy B unit that I have and be paired up with my Alco PA, Pennsylvania Alco PA. And I think that's going to look great. Something I wasn't expecting was this SW1500. I'm not a big fan of switch locomotives. We always call them butt heads on NS. At least where I'm at down here. But I thought, you know what? I remember the Virginian and Ohio having SW1500s. I think they were numbered 80 through 85, something like that. That's just off memory, so I'm probably wrong. But I thought, you know what? This might look pretty good blue and white. And I have to do a little research to what scheme it was in. Probably the intermediate scheme with the blue in the middle and the white ends. And there aren't any decals for the blue emblem that goes on the end of the intermediate scheme, and nobody makes them. And I've reached out to a couple of companies about making them, and they said, nah, not really interested. So we'll see what I paint that up as. It might be Allegheny Midland, you never know. Here's an SW something. I don't know what these are. Maybe a 1200, a 1000, I don't know. But this definitely will get stripped down and become a Virginian in Ohio, or an Allegheny Midland, or maybe even a nickel plate, because nickel plate had a real cool striping, had real cool striping on the back of the cab. And I got the decals. I've been wanting to do that for a while. So if I do Allegheny Midland, it'll be in the nickel plate inspired scheme with the black and the yellow, and that might just have to happen because I really want to use them decals. I think it'll look cool. Well, This LNN GP40, this is an old Atlas made in Austria model. This got put in the box by accident, and I wasn't expecting to bring it home, and I opened up the box, and I'm like, hey, surprise. But it runs. I got it running. I cleaned it up a little bit, and I remember having one of these when I was a kid, and it's pretty heavy. But what I think I might do is I may strip it down and paint it New York Central to go along with my U25B. I don't know. It might be a V&O. It might be an Allegheny Midland in the red and yellow scheme. I don't have any clue what I'm going to do with it. I grabbed this boxcar shell, and I'll strip that and paint that into something else. I got a box of junk, a literal box of junk that has some Athearn boxcar frames and underfloor and all that stuff in it. And I think that's what this is. And if it's not, I'm pretty sure I can make it work with that. I got this little building, this little shanty. I can put that someplace. All these little buildings, railroads got these little buildings all over the place. So, I mean, even if it doesn't, you know, look right, you can put it in the background someplace and it'll look pretty good. Got a ton of detail parts, you know, and these are great. I got some SD40 projects going on, so that's an awesome one. And there's a bunch of these little, what are these for? Like the little class lights. I got a bunch of those. And I don't know if I'll ever use them, but I figure what the heck, I'll put them in my box of parts and we'll see what happens. Now this is what I call the Greg Murphy. And Greg, I know you're laughing right now because my friend Greg, I would say he buys a lot of junk, but he buys what he wants to buy, and that's awesome. But this is a Greg Murphy, in my opinion. This is something I absolutely did not need. It is a 1970s, I think it's a Mahino or IHC or something. This is an Alco C415, a C415, 1500 horsepower. They modeled this after like a road switcher, had 1500 horsepower. The prime mover was in the long end. It had auxiliary supplies and fans and cooling in the short end. This side is the front. Had 3 different cab configurations. Had a low hood, a medium hood, and a high hood. And this is a Southern Pacific high hood. High cab. And they only made 26 of these. Most of them were purchased by rock quarries and coal mines and stuff like that. Like 1 here or 2 there. 1 or 2 of them went to Australia. I think the demonstrator went to Australia. And Southern Pacific bought a bunch, and Rock Island bought a bunch. And I thought this would be kind of a cool thing just to gut it. Replace the trucks with some decent looking trucks. Fix the ends so there's actually like a sill, you know, similar to this one right here. And throw some decent couplers on there and put it in a fantasy paint scheme, painted up for my belt line, just to pose it for some photos because you don't see this locomotive very often. Bowser makes them, and I may have to get one because it's so ugly that it makes me want to have it. But as an Alco fan, I love it anyway, but it's still ugly as sin. So, I mean, I don't know. Picked up a couple of Athearn tank cars. Most of the parts are there, but the parts that are missing are railings up here at the top, but I'm going to strip those off. If you remember, maybe a couple months ago, I probably got it on the layout here. I was building a Virginian tank car that was black and yellow for used engine oil and stuff like that. And Home Shops, I think that's what they're called, Home Shops, has made these. And well, this Bachmann tank car that I was playing around with doing this painting, it was molded in the yellow plastic color. So there's no strip in it. And the paint doesn't adhere well to it. The decals don't look very good. I tried to make it look as good as I could get it, and I think it looks like a hot bag of ass. So it's gone. I'll take the wheels and the trucks back off of it because I think they're decent trucks. I take the couplers back off, and it'll go in the scrap box, which is right there. That's just full of junk. And because I really don't throw anything away. Hey, what's that way down there? You may have to pause, screen capture, zoom in, come back Wednesday. You'll like that video. All right, let me get back to what I was talking about. I don't know why you guys get me sidetracked. So I got another boat. This is the famous Athearn boat that is on their flat car from, I don't know, this is pretty old, like 50s, 60s, 70s, I don't know. But I actually got one of those just because I thought it was neat. But I grabbed this one for another water scene that I'm going to do. I'll end up cutting the bottom off so it's flat and then stick it out there. It'll be somebody's yacht, a little party boat. Picked up a couple of tractors. I also picked up a white truck and a red truck. Yeah, white and red trucks. They look like 46 Dodges or something like that. And they're around here someplace. Now, a couple weeks ago, I was at this place called Todco here in beautiful Lexington, North Carolina. And Todco is where you take all your wood for recycle. So basically, anytime I do any work to the house, all my 2x4s that have all the nails in it that I don't feel like pulling out, I take to Todco. I pay them $8, and I dump them there, and then they make them in the mulch and sell them again. So that's a hell of a money-making opportunity right there. I wish I would come up with something like that. But I saw all these laying on the floor, or not the floor, but the ground. And I told my wife, hey, grab some of those. Well, she grabbed some of them, all right. There were probably 50 or 60 of these. And she asked me what I was going to use them for. And I told her, I said, I think I can take these thin ones, I can rip them down with the table saw, and I can make inserts to go in some hoppers and make loads. Make coal loads, ore loads, rock loads, and all that stuff. And set them right on top of this. Put a couple of washers in there so I can use magnets to unload them. And so that's my plan with that. My mind is always on what can I use to make my model railroad, to build something, to kit bash something, and all that. And my wife actually thinks that way too, except for when she's at the beach for a week. Now, here's the coup de grace. I thought this was a Walther's coal mine kit. I can't remember. I think it's Blue Ridge Coal Mine or something like that. And I snatched this up pretty quick. I saw some pictures on Facebook that Mike Strains had posted. And I think I texted John at about 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night and said, hey, man, I want this coal mine, and I'll be there tomorrow to get it. And I got there the next morning about noon. Well, the next early afternoon. And he was there waiting for me. He had these things all set up for me and everything. And I went on a shopping spree and got all that stuff at the same time. But when I compare the pictures to my my Walther's kit, it looks a little different. So I don't know if this was kit bashed, or if it was something else like a some sort of a rock quarry or something. I don't have any idea, but it doesn't look exactly like the kit that I have. I bought this thinking I could maybe use it to kit bash something else, or I have 3 planned coal mines on my layout. I may just repaint it a little bit and leave it as is. The guy had put some LEDs in there. I didn't like the way he did it, but I may rewire them and connect them to power. There's no windows in here, so I'll have to take it apart. But all the roofs come off, so that's a good thing. So I can put windows in there or black them out or something like that, but I'll figure it out. I don't even know what the hell that thing is, so I mean, if you know, let me know. And then I got this like a petroleum, not refinery, but like a petroleum distribution center type of thing. And I thought this was pretty cool, so I went ahead and grabbed it. I don't like the white. I think that would be extremely filthy. I'd probably go with stainless steel or a silver. If I can get like those two in the back, they'll get repainted and put someplace else. And this here, I may go over and see what I can do. It looks like he painted it with a brush, and don't look all that good, but we can weather it up and stick it in the back someplace. I think it'll be all right. Don't know where it's going yet, but I will figure it out. All right. This is new. I painted all 43 feet of the new benchwork foam. If you remember last week, this was all green, and I was really proud that I got it all fitted and stuff like that. Fit a couple weeks ago. That was part of the last Spike video, I think, or maybe the one right after. But either way, I think it's looking really good. Anytime you get rid of the green foam or the pink foam, if you use that, it looks so much better. I mean, not complete, but it just looks like you're making progress. And that's what I did here. I have not used this tank foam yet. I'm going to experiment on, I got 3 small pieces right here that I'm going to experiment with that with and see what I can do. This piece here has not been secured yet, but this piece has. I've got this glued in and everything, and it's looking pretty good. And we'll talk about all that stuff here in just a second. Whew. So I've decided I'm going to do some kit bashing here in the very near future. And I know you guys probably get sick and tired of me talking about this man right here, and that, you know, I talk to him on occasion, but I did a bunch of work for him this week on a potential cover photo for a model railroader. And after probably 3 or 4 hours of working on this thing, and between Tony and Tom emailing each other and CCing me to keep me in the loop, that was 27 emails and probably 4 hours out of my day of tweaking these photos and sending them back. And Tony saying, no, change this, do this. And Tom saying, well, let me do this, let me try this. Hey, Rob, redo this photo. The sketch that came back, not the sketch, the mock-up that came back you couldn't see anything I had done to the entire photo, and it was kind of funny. And but it may be on the November issue cover. We'll see. I may even throw a, let's just say the mock-up may be at the end of this video, and you can see what it possibly might look like. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. It's possible though. But this is a soybean processing plant, and he goes through and tells you how to build it. There's your freaking materials list. That was almost some French and everything. And this is the realistic. This is July 24th, 2007. So this is what, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, shit, I don't even know. I can't even do the math. It's old. And why I still have these is just because I like looking at stuff like this. But I think I'm going to build this soybean processing plant and put it over in the corner where the sky stops. If you remember my mock-up that I had in a couple of videos ago, it was more like a grain elevator, but I think it's going to be this soybean joint, and I think it's going to look pretty good. And since there's nothing else out there like it, except for the people who have kit bashed this, I think it's going to be very unique and everything, and I might even call it Custer Soybeans or something like that after Tony. I think he'll get a kick out of that, but you never know. It might annoy the hell out of him. We'll find out. Also, in another magazine, because it seems like every single time I open up one and start flipping through there, there's always something that Tony has in here. And this is an article from October 1998. And he talks about coal tipples and company houses. And if I get the pages unstuck. And it's a lot of detail and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of like miniature articles within one article for about 6 or 7 pages. And I think it's called Bridges, Coal Tipples, and something else. Oh, look at that. Bridges, Tipples, and Towns. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. And let me show you what I'm going to build here. So this is a freight house at Run Junction. It is a kit bash of 2 of these very famous, very common freight stations. And Tony built his so it would sit on a curve. I'm not going to do that. It's just going to be straight. But I'm going to not make it exactly like his. I got different windows on hand, and I'll cut them out. The stock windows that came with the kit, they look like, they don't look very good. So I'll put them on the back side where you can't see, and I'll put the good windows on the side that you can see. And I may make a video on that. I have another one of these coming. I paid $10 for this one, and I paid, I think, $20 for the other one. So all in all, I got about, after shipping and handling and everything, I paid about $22 a piece for a kit made 50 years ago, which I think is completely ridiculous. But I mean, that's what eBay does, is raise the prices on everything, and you know, it is what it is. But here is one of them that is built that I think I bought this. I have another one that I built when I was a kid, and I just basically took it apart and destroyed part of it by trying to get it apart, because my dumb ass used way too much glue when I was, 16 or whatever it was. But the freight house on my kit bash is going to sit right here. All right, let's jump back over here. All right, so I got this junction mocked up. You can see the track here in the back is the Pennsy main line. This is the Virginian, and this is the yard lead. This goes to the house track. This is the yard lead, and this is the crossover between the siding and the main line. What I've also done is mock up the switches on one end of the Beltline's little 2-track yard. And I got this track in and pinned down, and I think it's looking pretty good. And I got these curve shots. I got a little problem right here because I can't, there's no tie sticking out here, so I'm going to have to rig something up to throw the switch from a manual ground throw. But this side here is good. I'm pretty happy with the way the belt line's coming around, and it's looking pretty decent. I've been playing around with some grass matting, and I'm pretty happy with the way this is looking. I used this photo, I I posted on Facebook a couple days ago, and I thought it looked pretty cool. It's something like this. And then I used my Impixio AI program to fill in the area to the right where there's no layout, just to kind of complete the scene a little bit. And I put I got a blue piece of board I've stuck back here that kind of hide all this stuff, so I can put some sky scenery and stuff like that in also. But, you know, I just got everything sitting here, but it's looking pretty decent. And I really need to focus on McClellan Avenue right here and get some stripes down there and work on the road a little bit more. And then work left and right from there. I still have some area I haven't painted yet because I'm not quite sure the track layout and the arrangement and what's going to go there. I'd like to put something else there, but that may not work out. But we'll see what happens. Might just be some houses in a little neighborhood or something like that. And probably be some, could be the slums. I could put the strip clubs down there because, I mean, there's by the railroad tracks. And that's just the way it always seems to be. I have, where's that? Oh, there it is. I went in the backyard and I got some dirt. And I filtered it, and I got something living in it. I don't know what keeps burrowing down in there, but something's living in the dirt, because I'll do this, and I'll come out tomorrow, and there'll be that little divot where something tunneled in there again. It was probably a spider or something, but it made it through the filtration process, so it's probably going to get glued into the scenery itself. Hopefully I can find it, because I don't want the little critters crawling around there. Have a little, you see a little tombstone out here, you know what it's from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that dirt and I'm going to spread it into this area. And I'm going to break every rule here. Instead of working from the back to the front, I'm going to work on this area probably this week, just because I need some new scenery put in for thumbnails and some photographs and stuff like that. I'm sure everybody is sick and tired of seeing all my pictures on the other side of the room or in the other room. And even though it's not the exact same shot, it's pretty close, and you could tell. If you're familiar with any of my videos, any of my pictures, you know all I do is just move some trees around and put some stuff in different locations, but it's about the same spot on that back wall. So I'm going to take this dirt, I'm going to fill in from here all the way to the edge of the tracks. And then I'm going to take some grass matting. I'm going to get some more because it's easier this way than the static grass applicator. And I'm going to cut thin strips of grass mat, and I'm going to put down the middle of the tracks and put a little bit over here as well. And then on this side, it'll be static grass. And my goal is to have the trains be able to run with no problem, but at the same time, you won't be able to see the tracks all that well because it's going to be sunk down into the ground so bad, because this poor interurban line is so broke, all they can do is just barely afford to keep their track maintained the way they do. I got some crossings I'm going to purchase. I got some wood ones that I really like that are laser cut that I'm going to put here. I had some plastic ones that I stuck them up here, and I hated the way it looked. So the plastic ones will go in the back, and because you won't be able to see them so well, and I think it'll be all right. I need to get some, I don't know firemen to get upset, but I'm going to say fire trucks, not fire apparatus. But I need to get some apparatus so that I can have some stuff sitting out there and, you know, looking decent. I'm contemplating not even changing Apple Creek here because I kind of like the way it looks. You know, one newer brick building and some older brick buildings, so that might just stay that way. And good news is, let me roll these out of the way. I got the old line put back in and the two new turnouts up here for the powerhouse. I was actually going to run this and let it go by, but I forgot. Oh well. So I replaced the Shinohara three-way switch with two number 6s. The diverging route to the right is the old main line. It comes around, and hang on, I gotta run my little thing. And it's gonna end right here. Now this is just some lifelike stop sign that I found in a box of junk. I will take and put a couple railroad ties across the track, put some ballast up here, hump it up pretty much, and paint this stop sign and stick it on top. And I think that's pretty prototypical, and I think it's going to look all right. I contemplated running it and connected into the Pennsy main line and being able to run trains across it, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But that stop sign really kind of reminds me of a story, and this is a true story. When I worked for NS, I was in Roanoke. I was at the hotel, and focus, I was at the hotel. I got called out for a job. I think it was either a grain train or an ethanol train. And we was picking it up in South Yard, which was the Virginian Railway Yard. And we had to take and put the EOT on. So we had to like call the dispatcher, get permission to, go to the other end of South Yard to West End. And he tells us all, gives us all our instructions and tells us, okay, when you get down there, call me at the stop sign. And I said, all right, understood. We got permission through 3 Alpha westbound. Call you at the stop sign. He goes, all right, that's right. So I look at my engineer. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about, stop sign? Tim looks at me and goes, hell, man, I don't have any idea because I've never been down there. I said, all right, let's go. We're getting fired today. So I go get on the third modal. We start our shove move. I'm calling, clear for 50 cars at a shot. And we get to the end of the track, and there's literally a stop sign stuck in the ballast on a mound of ballast right there. So we stop there just shy of the stop sign about a car, and I called the dispatcher, and he gives us permission past the stop sign and then into, I think, track 2 to hang the EOT. So we get the EOT there. We get it all linked up and everything, and then run back around and then go to the head end. So that little stop sign story has inspired me to put the stop sign down there. And at 26 minutes, this is a hell of an update. And I think it was a fairly good one. So I probably next week, I'm going to do the epoxy, which means this will post here probably tomorrow. So during the week, next week's update, you'll probably see the epoxy down there. I probably will make a video of pouring it, just so if it turns out really bad, you know what not to do. And I think that might be, one more thing. I am officially monetized now by YouTube, and that's for like the 3,000 hours, and you get, or 3,000 watch hours, you get the ability to have super chat, and basically some people subscribe to your channel, and they basically, you guys tip me for my videos, and if you like it or not. I'm not a big fan of all that, I'm like, this is kind of crap. I wouldn't be throwing money like that, in this economy to everybody, even though I would want to, but common sense says keep your money. But I am officially 4 watch hours away from hitting 4,000, which means I will be paid by YouTube for the advertisements that are in my videos. And I have around 220,000 views. I have 3,996 watch hours. I'm sitting at 1,484 subscribers. And I'm thinking that maybe the 1,500th subscriber, maybe if I give you a shout out. And if you got a YouTube channel, let me know if you're just starting up, and I'll throw your name out there in your channel a little bit and help you out. For everybody who watched my last video and went over to Dan Adair's YouTube channel and subscribed, I thank you very much. His number went from 30 up to 65 the last time I looked, and that's been about 3 or 4 days ago. That's pretty awesome. So go check out Dan Adair. Go check out John Lazar. Some people may recognize his name. You might not. As soon as I saw his name, I knew. I'd read his articles and seen his layout in a magazine. And he's got a pretty good YouTube channel. He's got about 1,800 subscribers, but he's got some pretty good videos out there. A lot of good shorts. He does template, O-scale Lionel, 3-rail, HO scale. He's a Pensy guy. He lives here in North Carolina. And he's pretty cool dude. I text him at least once a week. He's funny as hell too. I don't know how old the guy is. He's probably my dad's age, but he's freaking awesome. So John, leave a message. And I tell you what, if you can't find his YouTube channel, go to my last video. Go to any video I got. John always leaves me a comment. John will leave a comment here, so you probably go down in the comments and just click on it and go to his YouTube channel. Check it out. Hey, at 29 minutes and 2 seconds, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for watching. Comment, like. Hit that little bell thing if you really want to. Share this video. Come back next week and see what I do next. Thank you.